Let's calculate the limit of x going to x or pi over 2 of 3 secant x minus 3 tan x. So let's just plug this stuff in. X goes to pi over 2, 3 secant, wait a minute. Secant pi over 2 is undefined. I can't do this. This is going to be an undefined answer. So what do I do if it's an undefined answer? Do L'Hopital's rule. L'Hopital's rule says that, let's do this. Let's make life a little easier. Let's rewrite these guys out. L'Hopital rule says that if we get something that's undefined, we could take the derivative of the fraction, the derivative of the top over the derivative of the bottom. No, I don't see a fraction there. But you know what I do see? Let's write this out, and let's get rid of all this limit stuff. I'll attach it later. Okay, 3 secant x. Secant is 1 over cosine. So this is the same thing as 3 times 1 over cosine x. Tangent is the same as sine over cosine. So sine x over cosine x. Now let's write this out a little more convenient. Let's put the 3 up top. Let's put the cosine on the bottom. Now, why did I make that one big denominator? Because these two will combine. So on the top, minus 3 sine x, so minus 3 sine x. And now what I can do is take the derivative of this guy, of the top, and the derivative of the bottom, and see what magical things happen. Now, by the way, if you're wondering, well, why can't I just plug in pi over 2 into x? Because cos of pi over 2 is 0, so you're still going to get undefined. So x is pi over 2. Let's take the derivative of the numerator. The derivative of 3 becomes nothing. Now I have negative 3 sine x. The derivative of sine is regular cosine, so I'm left with that. In the denominator, let's take the derivative of cosine, which is negative sine x. So now what I have is, and I'm writing this out knowing that there's a possibility that I might have to keep going, but we'll see. We'll see. Negative over negative is a positive. I now have 3, and cosine over sine is cotangent. So I have cotangent x. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate 3 times the cotangent of pi over 2. Now the cotangent of pi over 2 is 0. And 3 times 0 is 0. So at the end of the day, this whole thing has a limit of 0. Now we know that with limits, you're not looking at exact answers, because if I were to try to, once again, plug in pi over 2, it's not going to work. It's going to be undefined. But where is my graph going as I approach pi over 2? To 0. It works out. You get a hole there, but that's all right. That's my answer. L'Hopital's rule.